All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, as a Canelo Alvarez fan who is holding on desperately to the idea that he will act right, we have a video to talk about what he had to say about David Benavidez and a potential fight with David Benavidez. What Canelo Alvarez said is absolutely, positively terrible and hypocritical and in cohorts with somebody that is actively trying to block David Benavidez from getting 2 fights, that person being Turki Alalshiehk. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Turki Alalshiehk has not talked a lot lately, so not a lot to have been said about him. However, the evidence of his presence revealed itself in a conversation that Canelo Alvarez had with an interviewer where Canelo Alvarez said David Benavidez has not accomplished anything. He doesn't need to fight David Benavidez. That Canelo Alvarez, has already done. He's at this point of his career, he can do whatever he wants to do, and he doesn't want to fight that guy. So that's just what it is, right? So a bunch of people are up in arms about that, and rightfully so. But add to that Turki Alalshiehk said right before he shut up, so grateful for his silence over the last week or so. But right before he got quiet, he said that he was no longer interested in David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol. So watch this. Turki Alalshiehk is actively right now putting on fights with Canelo, and it's not going to include David Benavidez. He's also putting on fights with the guys at 175, which is the weight class David Benavidez moved up to, and he's not interested in fights with him either. So that seems as if that is a pretty major roadblock that Turki Alalshiehk is setting up for David Benavidez. And I have to say that it's pretty disgusting, because for somebody that says that they want to see the best fight the best, you have to wonder, what do you mean by the best? And how do you determine who is the best? Is it just who you like for the moment, or who you can actually get somebody to fight? Because let me assure you, I do not blame Turki Alalshiehk for Canelo Alvarez not fighting David Benavidez, or Turki Alalshiehk preventing Bivol from fighting David Benavidez, because we know what both of those things are about. Both of those things are about David Benavidez not being able to fight for titles. He would not be, because check this, both of those divisions have basically undisputed titles. Canelo has the undisputed title, along with if he's able to beat William Skull for the IBF and get the IBF back. Canelo Alvarez has all the belts at 168 pounds, and Dimitri Bivol right now has all the belts at 175 pounds. So basically, they're boycotting David Benavidez, because you know that Canelo Alvarez is going to want to fight Dimitri Bivol either at 168 or 175. That's just a logical fight to be made, considering Canelo Alvarez is getting money from Turki Alalshiehk, and Dimitri Bivol is, I do believe, promoted by Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, who also do business with Turki Alalshiehk. So it's on Canelo, because Canelo did the same thing when Canelo was with the PBC, where he basically had, and this is shout out to Kamal Oz, was allowed to do things like select his own mandatories, who, name his own mandatory challenger at 106. I believe that was at 168. At 168, where he defended against a guy that used to be his sparring partner. Right? I can't even remember the guy's name right now. Just a fight where people are like, what? Like, I don't get that. How in the world can that be? I don't think it's Yildirim, but somebody where people just looked at that fight like, come on, man, that's your sparring partner. But yet they allowed him to fight as a mandatory. He openly says that he does not want to fight David Benavidez. Openly. And David Benavidez is a 2-time WBC champion. But in response to that, and I think that this is what I'm actually happy for. I don't think that Canelo is really going to be able to for much longer. I don't think he's going to be able to stop the show much longer. He may be able to ride out these commitments that he has, that Turki Alalshiehk has for the next 18 months. So 18 months, I suspect, or 2 more fights after that, Canelo could get some free checks out of Turki Alalshiehk with that. But after that, the popularity of David Benavidez is growing. The fact that David Benavidez's promoter, Samson Leskovich, and I do believe his manager, Louis de Cuba, they both are all like, hey, man, absolutely, positively not. We are not fighting for interim titles anymore. We're pushing to get the shot at the title, the real WBC title. And Samson Leskovich said he was not willing to kiss the ring and abandon other people in his organization just for a big check from Turki Alalshiehk. So that is probably, also contributed to the David Benavidez fight not happening, or at least Turki Alalshiehk not trying to push hard on Canelo. But anyway, it goes back to Canelo. Anyway, it goes back to Canelo, because Canelo could have easily stayed over at the PBC, easily got the fight with David Benavidez, made a big, terrific fight for everybody, but he just chooses not to do it. And he chooses not to do it because he is getting guaranteed paydays. I don't think anybody in boxing's got as much money over the last, it's like he's like a walking bank robber, but he will give at the same time. He will give good fights, because the Bivol fight was a good fight. The Plant fight was a very good fight. I thought the Jermall Charlo, even though when my guy Kamal will disagree, I thought Jermell, was a good fight. But there's just so many people that he hasn't fought, like Charlo, Bubu Andrade, just so many people that Canelo Alvarez has not fought. At the same time, though, there's a lot of fighters that he did fight. That's why he's got over 60 fights. And he's a very, very active fighter. We'll see about William Skull, man, because if he loses to William Skull absolutely has the ability, to overcome the apple cart. Apple cart. But if you look at William Skull and you look at the frame of William Skull and you think, okay, well, who could Canelo be aiming to fight after William Skull? You have to look at, because he's so tall, you'd have to look at Dimitri Bivol. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.